Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jade and today I'm going to be talking about how I've been feeling right up until my 2-month post-op mark. So if you've watched my previous videos then you would know I posted a couple of weeks ago when I was about 11 days post-op. So I'm now 9 weeks post-op, so I was missing for a while. And there's a reason for that. I just generally did not feel like myself. I would say it's only been in the last, say, week to 2 weeks that I've felt more like my old self and I felt motivated to actually do things again. Energy wise, I was fine from, I would say, about 4 to 5 weeks post-op. I've been at work full time now since 3 weeks post-op. So that's not really been an issue as such, like energy wise for me. Of course, the difference in calories, like if I was to go on a long walk, that would tire me out quicker than it would before. But I just mean like actual motivation or wanting to do anything has been hard for me. It's hard to explain, but at times I felt like I was here, but I wasn't here. My mind was always somewhere else. I've been feeling quite down, and I think that has a lot to do with food. I think I didn't realise how hard it was going to be to not have the food, if that makes sense. Of course I knew going into this operation that my food would be cut down and everything like that, and I didn't actually think that I had too much of a big problem with food, but now that it's come to it, it's been a struggle. Some days I was crying my eyes out because I just felt like I'd lost my best friend. And that sounds really weird, but I think when you've been used to having food whenever you want it and however much you want it, it's easy to go and grab it. But not having food to fall back on as a comfort has been hard. I kind of figured the other day that before the surgery I used to eat and eat and eat until I was satisfied, whereas I wasn't really aiming to eat until I was full before the surgery. And now after surgery I am eating until I am full. I wouldn't say I was satisfied. And I think watching previous videos, especially on YouTube and people talking on Instagram, they've made out after surgery for them, I mean, it may be everyone's journey is different, but they made out as if food wasn't such an issue for them after surgery. But for me, it has been. It's been really hard getting my head around not being able to eat the same amount and not being able to eat the same things, because I'm going to be honest with you right now. Don't come for me, VSG police. So, of course, I've tried chocolate and I've tried some other stuff, and disappointing, whatever, for me, it went down quite well. I didn't have any problems. I know dumping syndrome with the sleeve is less likely than with the bypass, but I haven't had any problems. So now my battle is knowing that I can eat this sweet stuff and I've not had a problem getting it down. Is now my problem is staying away from it. Initially after surgery my food taste changed, so I wasn't really into the sweet stuff, but it's kind of like I've talked myself into liking it again. I don't know, and I'm not saying that I eat it every day. It's not something that happens often, but I will, nibble on chocolate here and there. And now I need to get out of that habit because I've had this operation for a reason and I don't want to be back to where I was in 10 years' time. The pureed stage for me was quite difficult. To begin with, it was heaven because I was tasting food again. My pureed stage was mainly soup, tuna, I'd have cod, so it was just, stuff that was really blended down. Chili con carne seems to have been a real favourite of mine since the surgery, and I didn't have it too much before. I mean, I've always liked it, but I seem to want it all the time now. But yeah, I used to blend that quite often. Going on to the softer food stage, I would get out my slow cooker and I would slow cook, you know, like casseroles, sausage and mash, stuff like that. But I have had to learn the hard way with eating. So I still find it really hard to not just scoff my meal really fast. So I'm still working on that. Whole chewing quite a lot and then swallowing, waiting. There's been quite a few times where I've either eaten too fast or I've not chewed properly or I've done both at the same time and I'm sick and I'll just throw up whatever I've eaten. Within this week I tried pasta for the first time, so I had spaghetti bolognese. I didn't even have a lot of pasta at all. So I had some pasta with my spaghetti bolognese and at first it went down fine. I waited about 45 minutes and I had a cup of tea. I don't know what happened from the tea, but I was then in so much pain that I don't know whether the pasta in my stomach started to swell more because of the tea, but basically I felt like something was growing inside of me. I had to throw up and I was sick for quite a while that night. My stomach the next day felt very tender, so for me I'm off pasta and I'm not going to try it again anytime soon. I'm back on solid food completely now. I would say I've been on solid food since about week 6 to 7. Chicken sometimes can be quite hard for me if it's too dry, so really recommend having sauces with them, or you know, just making sure the chicken is cooked quite tender so that it's not so dry that you don't have to put so much effort into the chewing and making sure that you digest it properly. I'm trying to get myself into a routine at the moment of eating 3 meals a day and having ideally 1 snack, but I've been having about 2 snacks a day. At the moment, I would say I'm eating about 4 to 5 tablespoons of food per meal, which I was weighing my food, so I was weighing out 4 ounces each time. When I went for a checkup with the nurse, she told me to stop weighing my food and that I needed to just eat until I was full and listen to my body. But I found since I've been doing that, I've been eating more, which worries me a little bit, and sometimes I would eat until I felt full, but then it would end up in me being sick. So I've kind of gone back to weighing out my food, but more measuring it with tablespoons rather than weighing it on scales. But yeah, that's definitely something that has been a struggle for me, because eating till you're full can either leave you being really uncomfortable if you eat too much before you're full, like before you realise you're full, or it could end up in you being sick, and both are not very nice. And it's happened to me quite often. Sometimes when I'm eating, the food gets kind of stuck, so I can like feel it there. That's quite hard as well. That's quite uncomfortable to get down because you're literally just like holding on for it to go down. But for me, with the hunger hasn't gone after my surgery, which it does to a lot of people, and I envy them because I still have to deal with the hunger. I've kind of got myself into a little bit of a routine. So first thing when I get up, I take my medication. So I'm on lansoprazole for the lining of my stomach. I've still got another 4 weeks on them. I take my 2 multivitamins and my calcium tablet. I then have to wait because of the lansoprazole, so I have to wait about half an hour before I eat. So I have a coffee first thing in the morning. I then wait about 45 minutes and then I have my breakfast. So by this time it's normally around 8:30, and I normally have 1 egg and I just put in a tiny splash of milk and I have it scrambled. I then have a snack at about 11 o'clock, which is normally either a dairy triangle or some form of cheese. I then have my lunch. My lunch varies, to be honest. Like, I don't really have a set lunch, so it'll either be leftover dinner, which quite often is chili, or I will have things such as tuna, baked beans, tuna and baked beans together, tuna and jacket potato. To be honest, I think I eat a lot of tuna. Now I come to think about it, I eat a lot of tuna for lunch. Then I have been having a snack again around 3 o'clock. So this is the snack that I want to cut out, but my surgeon said that it's not a problem, 2 snacks a day. So I might keep it in, but I would either be having, say, a yogurt, or I would snack on a bit of chicken, like the sandwich chicken. So yeah, I found that to go down okay as well. Then for dinner, I have a variety of things now in my diet. So number one, chili. Cod is quite nice. I tend to have spaghetti bolognese, minus the pasta. Never having pasta again. Curry. Yeah, just generally like, you know, normal food, but I do try to make sure that it's high in protein. I always eat my protein first. I have been a bit bad on the vegetable side of things, to be honest. Like, I haven't really been having too many vegetables. I know that I need to add that into my diet. Again, it's quite hard when you put, say, carbs on your plate. So I'll always put like maybe a little bit of rice on my plate, and I'll always tend to go and eat that first, which I know I shouldn't. I don't want to follow a no carb diet. I know a lot of people after VSG do a no carb diet, but that's not what I want. I still want some form of carbs in my diet. So yeah, that's how I've been getting on food wise. Generally, back to my health, I'm gonna start the gym next week. My surgeon has okayed it, so I'm going to concentrate on going to the gym around 4 times a week to begin with. I think I'm only going to do about 30-minute sessions and start building them up. But yeah, I really don't want to lose muscle at this stage. They said that that's really important. So you really need to keep, you know, your protein high. Make sure you're building on your muscle rather than losing the muscle as well as fat. So that's not really good. Gosh, I've not given my weight I can never say the word. I've not given my weight statistics yet. I don't know if I want to, but I feel like I should. Okay, let's do it. Let me get my app. Right, so I have this really good app. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. No, you're not going to be able to see it. But I have this really good app. It's called My Weight. So you can track your weight on here. So my highest weight before I'd even considered surgery, my highest weight was 22 stone. My weight before the pre-op diet, so the 2-week liquid diet that I'd done, was 20 stone and 9 pounds. My current weight is 16 stone and 13 pounds. So altogether, since my pre-op liquid diet, I've lost 3 stone and 1 pounds. So yeah, it has taken me a lot to share that, but do you know what? You're watching me because you're all probably either going to have the surgery or you've had it done. So we're all in the same boat. So yeah, I mean, I had weight loss surgery for a reason, so there it is. But it's just a bit uncomfortable saying it out loud. Do you know what, actually, since the surgery I found really weird. Like, I feel like people expect me to feel a certain way. So they'll be like, oh, Jade, you look really good. Like, especially people that haven't seen me for a couple of weeks. So they're like, oh, Jade, you look really good. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks. I don't really know what they want me to feel. Like, I'm not at the stage where I feel like I've lost enough weight to see much of a difference. Of course, I know there's a difference. Like, my clothes are a lot looser and, you know, most of my trousers tend not to fit me at the moment. But I'm in an awkward stage. Like, I've lost weight to buy new clothes, but I don't really want to buy new clothes because I know that I'm just going to keep losing weight. But I keep buying loads of tops, which I really need to stop doing. But yeah, like, I feel like people expect me to feel a certain way. It's like, yeah, thank you, I feel good, but really I don't feel good. Like, I told you how I felt. Like, I feel quite depressed sometimes. I don't know. I don't know how people want me to feel. I've been a bit crazy, to be honest. Like, I think my mum just thinks I'm nuts because I ring her up crying sometimes when I feel really down, and she'll ask me how much weight I've lost, and I'll say, oh, you know, this was the other week. I was like, oh, you know, 2 stone 9 pounds. She's like, Jade, that's amazing. And I was just like, yeah, I know, but, and then I'd stop crying because I don't know how I feel. And then my mum's like, so you're crying because you've lost weight? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm crying because I've lost weight, I'm crying because I can't eat, I'm crying because everything's changing and now there's nothing that I can do about it. And summing up how I really feel about it is hard. So I'm just going to carry on babbling to my camera so you can listen to me. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I love hearing from you all. It's actually meant quite a lot of people reaching out to me on Instagram and Snapchat and commenting on my videos. It really has given me the encouragement to carry on and remember why I'm on this journey. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for the support that you've been giving me. You really don't know how much it actually means. And you know, I'm here to support you guys as well. This is a really tough journey, and I think being surrounded by people that are going through it or have been through it is a lot easier because you realise that you are not on your own. Sometimes what I've found as well, that I've felt quite lonely and isolated because no one around me understands what I'm going through. As much as they try to understand, they don't really understand. So yeah, please feel free to contact me anytime. I love hearing from you all. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all soon.